was on the way to Denver, Colorado for my soon-to-be brother-in-law's bachelor party. It was a weird time for me. My girlfriend of 2.5 years had just moved out a few days prior. I was now a single man. I was the only member of the party that was driving out there. The plan was to sightsee and camp on the way. My cat Tabs was accompanying me across half the country. He loves to adventure.
Alright, my original plan was to leave at between 3 and 6 in the morning because it's about a 9-hour drive to Salt Lake City. And I wanted to go to the lake and the Salt Flats today. But I couldn't get up until 5:30, and then I didn't feel good. So I actually didn't leave until like a little bit after 7.
To be honest, Nevada's drive was the worst. It was super boring. There's really nothing between Reno and Salt Lake City. I kept stopping to film so much that I was starting to realize I wouldn't make it to the Salt Flats today. I was disappointed in myself. We drove all day until the sun started to go down. I found a campsite about an hour away from Utah border named Angels Creek. After setting up camp, I let Tabs roam around the campground since he was stuck in the car all day. We slept in a little bit this morning. We were getting ready for another all-day drive, but today we were soon to stop at the Salt Flats. I've never been to the Salt Flats in Utah. As a matter of fact, until this trip, I've never been east of Reno.
You literally can't see where the lake is, where the sky, like where the lake ends and the sky starts. And it all just blends together with the reflection. It's insane. I've never seen that before, anything like it. Here at the Salt Flats in Utah. Spent about an hour here taking some pictures and some video. It's actually really boring unless you have a really fast car to drive. But we're going to continue our trek to the way to Denver. How about it? What you doing?
We continued through northern Utah, occasionally stopping and exploring the terrain. You could tell when we crossed over into Wyoming, it was either super flat or super dry and rocky. Shortly after the sunset, the clouds darkened and it started to rain. It was really cold and I couldn't find a place to camp, so I broke down and got ourselves a hotel for the night. We had about a 2-hour drive to Denver.
Look at all that pot smoke. No one must be getting close to Colorado.
We got out at the border, but Tabs just hid.
Of
course, look. Told ya. Before going to the hotel, I had to drop Tabs off at the Cat Lodge that was located right outside the Mile High City. It's literally a hotel for cats.
Let's go check you in. Come on.
Tabs wasn't thrilled. He had his own 5-foot by 10-foot room to lounge about until I returned for him on Monday.
Come here.
It wasn't all that bad leaving him. I was able to see him on my phone. His room had a camera so I could monitor him whenever I wanted. I was the first to arrive, but only had to wait 20 minutes for Matt and his brothers to show up. The rest of the weekend is a complete blackout.
Longest fucking hallway you've ever had to take to get to the bathroom. Jesus. What the fuck? Whoa. Can you see it? It's like a TV in the mirror.
Yep. Don't remember shit for 72 hours. We went to a lot of bars and drank a lot of alcoholic drinks. We also went to an EDC concert that I don't remember. This is basically my mind skipping. There was too much alcohol abuse this weekend. I actually was really excited to see my cat. It was a cold morning in Denver when I left. It started to snow as I entered the mountains. It was time to pick up Tabs. I couldn't wait to see my boy. I took Tabs and we set out on our journey through the Rocky Mountains. We stopped a bunch to go on small hikes and sightsee. This is what I had been waiting for all week.
gonna be cold.
Well, Tabs and I had a blast. Well, maybe not so much Tabs. He doesn't care for the snow much.
It wasn't raining. The Rocky Mountains are beautiful right now with the changing of the leaves. Everything is yellow and red and orange. And we just got to drive through it because it's raining, it's cold, and we keep stopping, and we still have 4.5 hours until we reach the park I want to stay at. I'm really annoyed. Fucking Google sent me out of the way because I got off of an exit to take a picture. So it rerouted my entire day. And I went out of the way about an hour and a half. And now I'm finally catching back up to Highway 70. And there is a ridiculous amount of traffic. Like, to the fact that I've already been here 25 minutes and we've only moved a couple of feet. I'm really unhappy right now because I really wanted to spend the night in Utah. And I will, but I don't think until super late, and I don't want that.
We were finally clear of the rain and the snow. We crossed back into Utah, but this time we were on the south end. I stopped filming for the night because I was exhausted and pissed off. We couldn't find anywhere to camp. Arches National Park was closed for the night. All the campgrounds were full. All the hotels in Moab were full. The nearest place I could get a room was 45 minutes north where I had just come from. I was pissed and didn't want to spend the night in the car with the cat. So I drove 45 minutes to get a hotel. That night at the hotel, Tab slept on me the entire night. In his 2 years of life, he had never been this attached to me. I guess he didn't want me to ditch him for a few days again.
Alright, we're heading to Arches National Park. Had to sleep outside in a different city last night because there were no campgrounds and no hotels anywhere. So here it is, half hour before the sun rises, and we're heading back into Arches National Park. What's up, Tab? Saying your 2 cents?
We drove through Arches National Park. I wasn't sure where I was going. I was just following the traffic. Tabs didn't want to hike, so I left him in the car while I took the 1.5 mile walk to Delicate Arch.
Oh, Jesus. This is insane.
When I got back to the car, I let Tab stretch his legs. We were both tired. I really wanted to make it to Bryce Canyon. I was praying that I would be able to camp there. The 4-hour drive to Bryce Canyon took us 7 because of all the times we stopped to explore.
What are you doing? Come here. Come on.
Finally, we made it to Bryce Canyon. It was getting late and we were both still exhausted. We went to bed early so we would wake up for the sunrise the next morning. Every person that was in the park was a tourist. I mean, of course they are. I'm a tourist as well. What I mean is that no one spoke English. Everyone was from overseas. It was seriously like being in a different country.
Bryce Canyon sunrise.
No, 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 no. No. No, no, no.
This is the one moment I actually thought I was going to lose tabs.
It's called the Horse Trail. I guess it's for horses.
There's something.
I took a short hike down the horse path and got in trouble. The guide wasn't too happy to see me.
Rush hour,
Yeah.
about 40 of us.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
this is the horse trail. Usually you don't see hikers down there.
Yeah, I made a mistake.
Made a wrong turn.
We spent the day exploring the park. We drove through the park 2 times and walked around various spots. This park was beautiful.
What are you doing?
I missed the sunset, but continued to drive into the evening. This is when all the animals started to come out.
I don't trust you.
Oh shit! Bryce Canyon cat. No, do not go down there. No. No, that's a no-no. I'll never see you again, fool. Hamlet, damn it. Come here. Fuck. Tablet. Stop it. Do you realize where you are and what you're doing? No. Bad boy. You've never, ever, in 2 years, ever run away like that before. What is your deal, huh? That was not okay. You can wait in the car. You're punished. Okay? That's embarrassing. I give you so much credit. So much credit. And this is what you fucking do? You run away like that?
After freaking out about Tabs, we drove to the end of the park where I hung out for about an hour.
Tablet! What are you doing?
It's funny because like once the sun sets, everybody leaves. Like the sun hasn't even, it's not even 8 o'clock yet. The park is vacant. Here it is, Bryce Canyon. It's really dark, cold, scary when you're the only fucker out here. I've literally wanted to come here since before I knew what national parks were. Like, I went to Yosemite in 2nd grade, but when I was in 5th grade, our mathematics textbook, one of the chapters had a picture of Bryce Canyon, and I never knew where it was. Like, I thought that was not part of the United States. And so when I read that it was in Utah and saw similar pictures and, you know, years later found out what it was, I've always wanted to come here. Yeah, quit drinking my ass.
We had a habit of sleeping in, so we got kind of a late start. The first place we stopped wasn't even 5 minutes out of our campground.
Jump it.
We had been away from home for 9 days, so we were quickly driving through the rest of Utah, Arizona, and Nevada to get home to our place in California. Tabs was getting antsy at this part of the trip, so I stopped in the Arizona desert so he could explore. Maybe the desert isn't the best place. Come on. The one place I really wanted to stop was the Hoover Dam, and to drive through Vegas. It was about 11 o'clock when we were driving through Vegas. We drove all the way home that night, arriving at home around 9 a.m. Overall, it was a pretty awesome trip, and it gave me some well-needed time I needed to myself.